Hi guys, my name's Rick Shiels down here at Quest Golf Studio, our brand new studio here at Lytham Golf Academy, doing what is the first ever club review here. This is the new Cobra King LTD Pro driver. So the professional version. Interesting the changes on this, not a normal pro driver in the way that the head shape is much different. I can't see a difference at all in the head shape, and I can't seem to see any spec that would say there is much difference in the head shape. The only thing that the Pro version does, it comes in less loft options, so lower loft options from 7 degrees only up to 10, and it's got fade bias to it. No draw bias, just fade bias. You can go neutral or you can go fade bias. Now I've actually found I've been hitting this best in 8.5 degrees fade, which is, you can imagine obviously for me, normal draw of the golf ball, a fade setting is quite refreshing, quite nice to put myself into. And I've done the King Cobra LTD review last time, the normal version, and found I was hitting that, excuse the pun, literally up to space. I was hitting it so high in a normal 9.5 setting. In hindsight, I reckon I could test that club in a lower loft, and I've got it to test again for another video, so stay tuned for that, where I think it'll perform much better for me in a much lower loft. The engineering design around this, it's got the space port, the window at the bottom. It's a 16 gram weight, which is helping bring the centre of gravity really low and very centred, so a very centred CG. It's also got a fibre crown, but doesn't obviously look as fibre crown as maybe the M1, carbon fibre crown, but it has got a very subtle kind of diamond pattern. The idea that reduce the weight, stick it in the bottom. Sounds sensible. The window itself is something that you can kind of look at the technology inside. It's not much to see, if I'm dead honest with you, but it's a novel thing that you can take the window out, have a look inside it, have a look at what the writing says. Don't think you need to do that more than once, to be fair. Once you've done it, you've kind of done it. Apart from that, I think the club design is very, very nice. Love the black head, love the black finish. It's still got the speed channel around the face to maximise ball speed across off-centred hits. I'm back on my simulator software, so we should see ball flight. Head cover is just a King LTD head cover with the zip along the back. Quite a cool little design head cover. Very easy to get on and off. Like I say, behind the ball, I've not noticed any difference in head size. Now, I might be wrong in that, and it might be, 30cc less, but I can't really tell. It looks the same size as the normal King LTD driver. Right, let's give this a hit. Now, like I said, last driver for me didn't perform quite as good as it could have done, and I cried out for the Pro driver. Let's see if this delivers. So I'm hitting real balls. Let's see how it flies. That was a lovely flight. Much, much lower than the flight that I would expect. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, yes, I like that a lot. I love that flight. Low spin, yet 1900 spin. That's where we're at. That's where we need to be. It's better. Love it. Now that extra degree less loft will help the spin rate, but I couldn't get the last one to be spinning lower than 2.5 RPM. So it's nice to see that it spun lower than 2000 there. That was very nice, love that. Oh, it's a very, very flat flight. It just kind of pops out. Look at them. It just kind of pops out there and just flies. Not much spin on them at all. I don't reckon that was quite as good as my first one. Yeah, I've not lost huge amounts of distance there, maybe 10 yards on the carry. That was really nice. It has such a great acoustic to the club as well. It sounds really, I said it in the last one, it sounds almost quite hollow, because it kind of is. There's not a lot in it. The one thing I have noticed, and something I had to do this driver, and probably will have to redo the other one when I maybe even test it up against this, I found myself teeing the ball up an awful lot higher. I find the best spot on this driver is much higher on the face than some others. So when you can catch it higher on the face, the spin rate is awesome. It's very low. I've got this in a extra stiff Aldila Rogue shaft. That might be another thing that maybe the Pro version has to offer. More exotic shaft options, possibly. I'm not sure about that, don't quote me. do. I really like it. Oh, it's huge. Enormous hit. They said there was going to be a driver that would low spin and go a long way. And I was slightly, for myself, slightly gutted about the Cobra LTD. Normal version, they have certainly delivered with the Pro. Much, much more suitable numbers for myself. I love that look behind the ball. I like the fact that I can put it in a fade setting to eliminate a little bit of that draw. And because potentially they've not made the heads much smaller on this version compared to the normal version, I don't feel like I'm losing that much forgiveness. Particularly that wasn't a great shot, and it's still right up there with, and that's the worst one I've hit at 282 carry. And I didn't feel like I hit that one amazingly well. So a couple more. That's a bullet. That's the best one I've hit out of all of them. This is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see from the King driver. It really is. I wanted to see those numbers. I wanted to see those flights. Couldn't quite for myself get it with the other one, but it's back in the game with this driver. This is flying machine. Like I said before, I have to tee it up higher to find the sweet spot. I found that I've been teeing up much higher to find the sweet spot. I think the only gimmicky thing with this is that why they didn't need to call it a spaceport. I know they've been working with the guys in space. I just think they could have just made that glass, the weight glass, if they wanted to, and just left it. Didn't really need to call it a spaceport, but I suppose every driver's got to have a bit of an identity, a bit of a story behind it. I felt like it had lost maybe a bit of its seriousness, but this is a serious piece of kit. Let's go one more. Oh, it's a tiny bit left, but I reckon that could be... Oh, it's not stayed up in the air very well, actually. Still done quite well, but it's kind of flopped out the air a touch. Yeah, one of the lower carry distances in that one, but I reckon the spin rate is ridiculously low, actually. Let's pull up those figures and see what the new King Cobra or Cobra King LTD Pro driver is actually doing. Okay, so after 6 shots, we have much, much better numbers. I'm so happy, so pleased, because for the looks of this, it should work, and it should, all the science behind it should work. It's just that the Pro version for myself just works a little bit better. Let's have a look at some numbers. So, first off, I'm looking at carry distance. Carry distance of that was 287 yards. Awesome. Average. Now, the last one actually dropped that average down, just because it kind of fell out of the sky a little bit. So, if I just take that last one out just for argument's sake, because that wasn't a particularly great hit and it spun very, very low. Let's just take that one out. The average there, carry distance, was 290. Total distance was 320 yards, which is just awesome. Best one was 295. Worst one, after taking that bad one out, was 282. Good numbers. Very good numbers. Spin rate, which is the one that killed the Cobra driver last time for me, has reduced so much better. Now that has partly to do with the loft. So I'll definitely try the other King driver in lower loft settings, because the lower the loft, the lower spin rate you're going to get as well. That's spinning at an average at 1,836. Just perfection. Anything lower than 2,000 with healthy swing speed is good. Swing speed was up there at 113. Very, very good numbers. As good as numbers I've seen with most drivers that I've tested. I reckon over time I can get that easily carrying 300 yards in a much lower setting loft as well. Now, the fade bias didn't massively reduce any left shots. I hit a couple left and a few to the right. Not a huge difference, but it's quite reassuring for a better player, let's say, who does shape the ball too far left, to pop it into fade, and you've got that little bit of a reassurance. Don't worry, the club's going to help you. The club's not going to make the ball go silly left on you. So that's quite nice and refreshing. I think it looks the part apart from the spaceport, like I said, but regardless of that, think of it as a weight. Loads of great technology, really good numbers, much better than the Cobra driver. The first one that I tried, and I'll probably do, like say, a head-to-head with that, and maybe just lower that loft a little bit as well. Guys, thanks for watching. My first video in the Quest Golf Studio here at Lytham Golf Academy. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've seen a good review there of the new Cobra Pro Driver, King Pro Driver. If you have, do me a favour and click thumbs up. Comment down below, let us know what you think about the new club and the new studio. Subscribe here, and we shall see you very next time. Do some more club reviews, course vlogs, tips, whatever's going to help you play better golf. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.